But anyway.
Around here, that giant area.
I can't do a small circle.
I know.
That's a roll 20 thing. That's why I just draw on the map.
Is the rest of the party already there whenever Sapphire gets there?
Please stop. Anyway, yes, no, everyone will yes, be there.
Well, Sapphire, you will notice a couple of different things about Cheese. First of all, she has her hair up in a ponytail. And second, she is wearing Corvus' football.
Corvus has a new shirt.
Yes, of course.
You all know I know exactly who's doing that, right?
We could change our colors.
I made change. I wanted you. I love
You did with your hair. Looks nice. Thank you. Fred came up with the idea of
Except for the shirt.
I feel like fun now. That's how it's the only way you can think to do it. Scrubbing wasn't good.
and the shirt cleaned itself.
Oh, it's not self-cleaning, it's self-repairing. There's no cutscenes.
Yeah.
I imagine Lessla clean for like just it's on instinct and didn't realize, oh, he was gonna go for this.
Either way.
So, what's this job
Well, first we have to, and I do remember this detail, is that we were supposed to go to an address at a certain time. Well, it's Sir Mert, the merchant that operates next to the Adventurers Guild, is offering a quest to parties to go explore a ruin, and I don't know the full details, as we were only given a location to meet at a time. And Lessla will gesture in the general down the street, and it's only so far away.
Right. Well, guess we'll get going.
That being said, it is a ruin, and there could be all sorts of things there. But if it is a newly discovered ruin and not one that they're making a joke out of, there may be some things that are quite valuable, depending on the era that it's from. Yes,
You would know that would not be out of character.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Those of you who are local, so like Sapphire and Corvus, you know that this Merc character, yeah, that's not out of character.
Yeah.
I missed what Rupert said about.
He may have left some things there for you. So even if there's nothing there naturally, he may have left some things for you to find.
Was this Easter?
Yes, exactly.
No, it's just
what it is.
Yeah, he's quite well known. It's generally accepted that he is probably one of the masked lords, although no one's ever proved it. Definitively, anyway. He's been around for, so, you know how the dragons disappeared? He's been around since before that.
Yeah.
You
He
know,
still looks exactly the same.
you know what?
I think he was there, but he's been around before without
Yeah.
So something that
was really funny
if Sapphire had been here last week, we could have done the Merc quest last session, and either way, it would have been a holiday quest, either an April Fool's quest or an Easter quest.
Just a bunch of eggs and chocolate.
They would have actually. He could have done both at the same time. He could have done both at the same time.
I could have. I chose not to.
Shadow.
Anyway.
So Vale and Zarfea both here for this too.
I'm assuming everyone will be there.
Yes.
Unless you didn't want anybody. Well, unless you wanted someone to stay with the dragon.
I feel like we would have talked to each of the NPCs before coming here to figure out which one wants to go. We did have a day. We had a whole day. So I think Laura. Yeah, I think Laura would be with the dragon. Unless she really insisted on coming along, in which case we're going to have the dragon pretend to be an elf for an hour and then put it inside the bag of holding.
Well, the amulet works for 8 hours, so...
Okay.
But anyway. You all start to head into the building. There is someone sitting outside. Looks like a small gnome. He's got a pair of spectacles on, and he's essentially there are a lot of people going in. And as everyone starts to go in, he'll like help them and like ask to see their little strip of paper, and then he'll just wave them in.
I bet there's hidden ink on it that has a different serial code that will be put in the lots, and then that'll decide what entrance we go in. It's actually a battle royale.
So you walk up to the little gnome. He stops you. Can I see your slip?
Lessla will produce it from the
He
bag of
just
holding.
spectacle stares at it a few seconds, kind of looks at all of you. Alright, you can go on in.
Also, Lessla doesn't have nearly as much gear as she usually carries. She just has a bag now that hangs like a satchel. It's so much easier.
15 pounds or 15
But as you get inside, you do recognize quite a few faces from the Adventurers Guild that you've seen around, including one very familiar one to you, Lessla. And no, I do not have a map for the inside of it.
That's fine, we'll use our
That's
advantage.
fine. So just to make sure it's Nemo, right?
It's Nemo, well, yes.
Nemo,
he's over there with the rest of he's over there with the rest of his group.
Rest of the...
we don't know.
You don't know what they're called, you've never asked.
Yeah.
Team. Instead of a betting.
That works. Had 15 rulers.
First of all,
The GM is now really tempted to change their actual name to that.
No, it would to be funnier. It would have to be the adamantine weight.
I couldn't think of another thing.
But anyway. You all are kind of filed into this room. After, give it another about 20 minutes if there's anything you want to do in that time, then you're welcome to.
Jesus, I'm listening to the conversations of everybody else.
There are a few servants going about with glasses of everything from water to a little bit of wine.
Lessla will nod her appreciation and says, "I will be back in a moment." And she goes to walk towards Nemo. I think the only person that knows that's her brother is Cheese.
I think so.
Yeah, we know that
You've seen me talk to him multiple
Cheese
times.
might have actually mentioned it to Sapphire. I don't remember.
Also, he was in the vision.
Yeah, but he would have been younger.
He was also a lot younger. You can probably like make the connection, but
Because you change a lot between 11 to 16, 17.
yeah.
You still kind of tell by vision.
Yeah.
Like, you see old things to me, still like
Well, but it honestly doesn't depend on the name. But anyway, that was a half elf. This is a half elf. You can make the difference. But anyway. Yeah, you're able to walk right up to him.
Nemo.
He doesn't start as much as he has in the past. Just turns to look at you, gives you a smile. Yes, that's. What can I do for you?
I think that I was not truly expecting you to be here, but then it occurs to me that you are a legitimate adventurer now.
Should I take that as a confidence, or
It's an observation.
let's see. Was there something you want to speak to me about?
Lessla looks like she's about to say something. Crosses her arms as she thinks about it for like 3 seconds, and then says, "Yes, there is. I would like to speak to you later."
Define later.
When we're back in the city.
Before or after this?
Well, if there's time between the mission and not, then I would appreciate to speak to you then. If we are immediately going out, then after.
Alright. I suppose I look forward to it. And I wish you the best of luck, Lessla.
Lessla hears that and kind of raises an eyebrow before shaking her head and says, "If luck was ever on my side, I don't think either of us would be here."
He looks like he's about to protest, but thinks better of it.
Considering who your parents are, I don't know where you get your optimism. And she turns to walk away.
It's like he might go and try to, like he might try and argue with you about it, but kind of as that happens, there's a bit of a commotion. And you can see at the, kind of all in like a ballroom hall. It's, not quite an amphitheater, just like
waiting.
It is quite literally like a big long ballroom. It is quite literally just a big ball.
Okay, alright.
There's at the very end there's a big staircase, and there's a little bit of some magic fanfare of like the lanterns that kind of line the staircase, like lighting themselves. As you're expecting either him to walk down one of the two staircases, but instead the bookshelf. It's like a split staircase. There's one that goes up and then it splits left and right, and when it hits the wall.
Yeah.
The bookcase that is at the where it hits the wall, that instead opens up wide, and Mert steps out with a jolly old smile on his face. I'll go ahead and move the image to the token layer there.
He's a bit.
Oh, you put it out there now. Anyway,
Thank you, Uncle Bungo, for following.
he takes a few steps. He takes a few steps out, kind of looks over the room. Welcome, one and all. It's certainly a pleasure to see so many new faces here. Does my heart no small amount of good. Know that there is such a thriving culture in the city that only continues to grow with each passing year.
I have context for that.
Rex brain.
Yes.
But anyway. I would suppose that you are all here for the same reason. After all, you were all admitted as my valet has been lax in his duties. As you all are aware of my reputation, I suspect you all know what it is that you all get big into. It's not as though I have any sort of small reputation in the city, despite my best efforts. And, he waits a few moments, and you start to see several of these servers that have been serving drinks go out. They start passing some papers to every group. Now, what you've just been handed is a map to the location of this ruin. It is several days' journey outside of Waterdeep, and from my best estimations, there are some rather valuable objects inside, both for some collector's aesthetic and for monetary gain, as well as magical acumen, if you are so inclined. Kind of lets everyone, you can tell he's done this before. Lets everyone kind of like look over it, chat amongst themselves, giving the room a bit to digest that. Most people are no longer paying attention to him anymore, but he doesn't seem to mind. You have in fact.
I know. It doesn't very well be.
Yeah.
Frankly, frightening.
What? The animals got eaten. That was one thing.
Anyway. As it stands, you all are free to begin making your journey at any time. Of course, those who take longer risk receiving less of the spoils. Those who are quicker risk more dangers in the rooms. I don't desire to hear any tales of foul play, and I do have my methods to ensure it does not come to play. That being said, some friendly competition is always good. Well, what are you all standing around for? I've told you you're not to be off. Do you not have the spirit of adventure within you?
Yeah.
Particularly.
It's at that point you hear like a loud click in the back as like the doors unlock, and more than a few groups like turn and just boom.
Alright. Well, it's a good thing I was.
Sapphire was screaming. I had Sapphire was screaming outside the door, and then she heard everyone stampeding. She moves away from it. I'm not.
Yeah. Lessla, you see Nemo rush past you being called by a particularly quickly moving blue tiefling as she yells, "Step aside," moving through.
Well, it's a good. Well, it's a good thing I saw this coming, and Lessla will look into her coin first, see how much gold she has. Is perfect. Alright, follow me to the stables.
You will not be able to speak with him. He is already like making his way back up the stairs.
Wait.
The door unlocked and he's gone.
Yeah. He NPC vanished the moment he didn't have anything to say.
God damn it, despawned.
You looked away and he despawned.
Fuck.
Yeah. Anyway.
We glitched through the fucking wall, guys.
Who all is going outside?
Lessla is going to go outside. Wait, it's going to be a couple days' journey. Lesla's just going to vortex warp outside, so she doesn't have to avoid. So she can just avoid everyone.
Okay.
Chief will wait for the crowd to die down.
So the crowd in the room dies down very quickly as more and more people start leaving in various stages of the orderly or various degrees of fashion.
Mostly being
Although
not.
upon anyone heading outside, you actually notice that there's even more commotion out there in the courtyard for some reason.
And me being out for now is like, okay. What?
Looking up, you are able to see there's actually several parts like piled up and kind of crashed in front of the mansion's residence. Right in front of the gate, blocking it. One of them is actually fallen over. There is a very startled-looking gnome ballet standing a few feet away, just kind of gazing at the mess. And on top, Cheese, is an older fellow you have seen before.
Is it the Barrel Man? I was going to say, is it the Barrel Mancer?
Yeah,
Say, is it our
the one that
resident,
gave Cheese the shrooms, yes. He is standing on top of it.
He didn't give cheese shrooms, he gave me shrooms.
And cheese.
Yeah.
No, you can't eat it.
Right, that's...
Yeah,
And
you know,
then
you can,
I let cheese try the shrooms, and then that happened.
Okay, so only Sapphire would recognize.
Yeah, Sapphire, you recognize the mushroom salesman. He is standing on top, yelling something incoherent in a language you don't recognize, while making lewd gestures at the crowd.
Damn shame I don't understand it.
As the rest of you walk out, this older fellow who's only about 3.5 feet tall. He's kind of short. You can't tell if he's a gnome or not. It really is hard to judge. He might just be a really scrawny kid. But he blows a raspberry at the crowd out, turns around, moons the entire crowd, and leaps off the pile. Leaving everyone kind of, now what? As you're all kind of locked in here.
I vortex worked.
I would
Yeah,
like
you're
to acrobatics my way out.
So the wall surrounding this place is about 15 feet tall. Yeah. The gates are kind of bashed in by these pallet parts. There's like 3 or 4, and you can hear angry shouting outside. No one seems to have been hurt, but it's quite the mess.
It is caught, right?
Crash.
Yes, they were parts. Yes.
The way they reported.
They are a pile of rubble that kind of perfectly blocks them off. As you look at almost too perfectly.
I guess you can't just plan for okay, everyone, watch this analyze the situation. And then we'll just walk forward and he will run
So,
something side of it.
right, yeah, as of, sorry, go ahead.
No, I feel like it's more just putting something together. Someone doesn't sure. He almost like asks. He knows if people like not would be near him. So he's almost like asking whatever inside him to just amplify that to get those people out of his rosies and moving past us.
A good few of them do. The crowd's kind of all staying like, what do we do now? A few of them are starting to get heated. You hear a loud shriek as a small gnome flies through the air at the top of the wall and like manages to grab on and drag himself up and over.
Fastball specialist.
That's a dwarf. People throw gnomes all the time.
Gnomes are made to be thrown. That's why they're so small.
Yes.
There are a few more similar antics with varying degrees of cooperation from said gnome and occasional halfling. Also, one rather large Goliath runs like head first at the wall and makes a good dent in it, but is not able to break it.
Jesus Christ.
And after a moment, several ropes are thrown over by various gnomes who did actually make it. There are also a couple who are just standing at the top yelling at whoever threw them there.
Lessla, meanwhile, is on the other side and just watching all this.
So you will be able to vortex warp to the top of the wall.
Okay.
Not quite to the bottom. Or not quite the other side. You cannot see. There's a salt wall.
Okay, in that case, yeah, I would vortex warp my way up. And I will look at the gnomes that are up here with me. And then look down. And I could help everyone. I could also vortex warp down to the floor.
You could. You probably would have spell slots to like vortex warp everyone up to the top.
It's a second level spell. I can only vortex warp one person at a time.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
You land up there, but you get up there, and there's you kind of startle the gnome next to you, who's in the midst of shouting about, "Who told you that was a good idea?" And like, ah! And then falls off the wall.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah,
and upcasting vortex warp increases range, not people. I will.
In fact, fine.
Yeah.
It is only a 15-foot tall.
Yeah.
And there is a rather large mob below who will catch them.
Who will catch them? Yeah. Lessla looks down. Yeah. Looks down at her group and says, "Which one of you isn't confident getting up here?" And in that case,
I do have a way to do it.
don't worry. And she snaps her finger, and you vortex warp to the other side because it's where I can see.
She was like mid-sentence, and then she looks back and sees that she's somewhere completely different. So, that boy's stuck.
Boy, if directed to, will begin scrambling over the carts.
Boy doesn't like. He likes horses. He likes to. He's really aggressively defending him. No one gets within
There's kind of a little
Bullish
there's
just
kind of a little
climbs
hole.
up. Yeah, Bullish just climbs up one of the ropes really casually. The boy doesn't hide the boy. Yeah, climbs up and just efforts the boy up.
Lessla will assist you, you weak man, because I know for a fact you have a.
I can hold him.
He can kind of climb with the rope. He's got claws. He can kind of get it and stuff.
Alright, well, either way.
You do see a few like Aarakocra and single winged tiefling just fly over.
Okay. Lessla will will. Oh god, I kind of want Leslie just to jump down because she's kind of done with this, but at the same time, I don't want to take that d6 of damage.
Hey, by the way, Sapphire.
Oh yeah, no, but once the boy's
Still
up,
down there.
once the time, like, doesn't throw it down immediately, just launch it.
There's a few of them like waiting for you to like, come on, we let you out, come on.
Up the road, just here.
Sapphire.
Yeah. Oh, man, friendly competition. I get to be a dick.
Friendly competition means we get to be a dick, and you can't do anything about it. As
Thea and Vale follow you up the road.
yes, at which point, as Lessla will get her own rope out of her bag of holding and will tie it to something to go down. Oh, right, we can do that. Oh, wait, I have another fall!
I can't
Just gonna
slow
waste all
fall.
your
I can't
spells right
slow
now?
fall, yeah. But that's just not a clean fall. I can, like, slow fall.
Well, no, here, I don't care about using my spells because it says it's going to take a couple days to get there.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
Looking at the map, it's about 2 days worth of travel.
Okay.
It would be a reasonable pace.
Once everyone is up, Lessla will say, it's alright, we can drop just fine. And she'll wait for everyone because we have to technically synchronize drop.
Vale kind of gets what you're going for, and he will wait.
Yep.
The Sapphire will also wait.
Zarthea doesn't really seem to know what you're up to, but trusts you.
Yeah, Lessla. Yeah, Lessla jumps off. Funnily enough, I can choose the 5 people, but only one person needs to fall. So yeah, I'm just going to jump off, use my reaction to cast Feather Fall. And
Actually, don't
yeah. Yeah, so
5 people.
5 people. Which 5?
You. So it's Lessla, Corvus, Sapphire, Boy, Zarthea, and then once I'm on the ground, I'll cast it again when when Vale jumps.
Vale is actually able to cast it himself.
Oh, okay. In that case, yeah, we all feather fall down. Which one? He quickly cast it on himself.
He has enough knowledge just to help.
Yeah. At which point, Lessla, as we're falling, Lessla will look to everyone and says, "Alright, so if I want to do it myself, we can only get a draft horse, but if some of you pitch in 35 gold, we can get a riding horse and move twice as fast as normal."
I can also turn into a horse.
You do notice there are a few groups who are moving on. There are only so many horses for
I'm not renting a horse.
or per
I'm buying a riding horse, but it's only 75 gold pieces. Yeah, it doesn't matter to you, but everyone else has speed 30.
At this point, I must question you. What did you want to do with the warhorse you have?
I wouldn't have given him back. If I had the option to keep him, I would have kept him in the stables.
He's covered in corpia stuff, and he's really
Yeah, how long do you think it's going to take them to come down here to pick him up?
It's been like a while. It's been a couple weeks.
It's been a few weeks, yeah.
Yeah. If we, I think it's only been like 6 days. Yeah. I'll retroactively pay for stabling. I think it's covered in wealthy lifestyle anyway. So yeah.
I just didn't remember what you had done with them.
Yeah.
Right, you go over to the launch.
Yeah. You know, he is a horse, and he knows we can talk to him. We could ask him, hey, do you want to take us somewhere?
While we're gailing us still there.
It is an option.
I think.
But do we know he's still there? And if we don't know, do we want to risk wasting time to see if he is?
Well, he would be at the stables where I would have to go to buy a horse anyway.
I'm assuming you would all be having a discussion about the deal.
We are walking and talking.
Yeah, we're walking and talking towards the city gates because that's where stables would be anyway. Yeah.
I can save us some money. I can be a horse run out. Well, we could do it twice.
You see a small cackling goblin ride by on a warg at top speed.
How did they allow that into the city?
Behind him.
How did they allow that into the city?
I feel like this is
They allow boy. They allow boy.
Yes.
Technically,
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that this is not an uncommon occurrence large.
It is not common, especially not in this part of the ward, though the people around, knowing where you're coming from, do not seem bothered or surprised.
That
They're just eccentric.
They speak Worgen Goblin, yeah.
He could literally, like, be a registered adventurer.
Yeah, he could be a registered adventurer. Yeah. But yeah, so we're going to the stables anyway. Let's see if Colonel Chestnut is there. If he is, let's just ask him if he'll take us. In that case, I only have to buy the wagon. A wagon is 35 gold. Not a carriage, a wagon. A cart's 15. Actually,
You're good.
That's good.
This ward is
Yeah, ward.
You know,
that's actually that image is not representative of the size of a warg. That makes the warg look like a medium-sized creature. Wargs are large-sized creatures.
Yeah. Well, it's the one that's on D&D Beyond.
Yeah,
I know. It's just I always find it funny because that warg is so much smaller than what it should be. Yeah. But yeah. We go to the stables, see Colonel Chestnut is there. If he's not, then we can have a debate about buying a draft horse or a riding horse if you guys can come up with 35 more gold.
I have no money, but I can
I
turn
know.
into a horse.
I know you can. And that will speed us up a degree, but I don't think not as much as we would like. Yeah.
Also, you're still as your
Party member.
So if you're getting pulled by thing, draft horse, you're still draft.
Mm-hmm.
Getting pulled by a riding horse, you're still draft.
Yeah. and it's a speed difference of 40 to 60.
So I think with the moving speed, they have to make checks in the hour. I'm not quite sure.
I mean, 60 feet is its walking speed is the thing. So if it was going double time, it'd be making checks.
I think probably it's not like actually walking, it's moving briskly.
Yeah.
The drop.
Yeah.
Because the idea is like that's you in combat, not moving more quickly, not walking casually.
A casual 30 feet in 6 seconds.
In combat, you're moving faster in combat, than combat is casual.
What is it? 10 yards in 6 seconds. Yeah, that's like a almost a jog actually for a lot of people. But yeah, so we'll see if Colonel Chestnut is there. If he is, we'll ask him if he wants to help us out again. Another adventure for his to tell all the mayors when he gets back home.
I'll say on the way then. Jesus casting.
Yeah, I was gonna ritually cast that. Yeah, I was gonna ritually cast Speak with Animals as well.
You will not be able to ritually cast while moving.
Then I can just cast it.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine.
Alright. Well, let's move and
I'll cast it whenever we get closer so that 10 minutes doesn't run out.
yeah. No, it's 10 minutes.
The duration.
Yeah.
Shit, it was a 10-minute conversation.
I do. But we'll do that. I'll buy the wagon. Probably also being sold at the stables because it'd be really stupid to not offer wagons at the stables if you're getting a horse. Yeah, it fares. Fair. But I feel like there'd be a...
Go around with the stable guild, like the cart making guild,
The horse raising guild. The ranchers guild? Is that what it is?
I think the noble family is specialized in what I guess.
Yeah.
There's a few, honestly.
Alright.
So what's the best horses? There's a town
Well then, we'll go there when we want to buy our horse
It's not
next.
a town, it's actually a city, and it's actually part of the alliance.
Well, we'll have to take a day trip out there then.
If it's in that direction,
So it is in fact not in that direction.
yeah,
Okay.
We have to go.
Alright. Like I said, after the quest we can take a day trip. Alright, but am I gonna have to roll anything to try and get a cart, or...
Not really, no. You're able to. You'll be able to hire one with as quick as you're moving.
I could say that once you take a nap and you're already like deciding what direction to go, well that's going on. You know, if they get the ones, they'll catch up. If they don't get the ones, they'll still catch up.
Eventually.
Yeah. Go along.
Sapphire's just gonna go with Corvus because that man should not be left alone.
I'm literally the most responsible.
I get that, but buddy system.
Yeah.
Count, but like also buddy system.
That's boy is my buddy.
Boy is the buddy. Lessla will send the Raven. The Raven will be perched on Sapphire's shoulder then. It could fly. It chooses not to.
Well, as soon as we get towards the stables, Fuse is looking for her.
Yeah.
Let me check something real quick.
You get to do the voice.
Mm.
You saying that has made me so tempted to just say no. Odd or even?
Even.
Haha.
He is there.
the defeatedness.
Shadow. He runs up to Colonel Chestnut. Just goes like the most excited tone ever.
I can tell because your mic didn't pick it up.
Oh, she just goes, Colonel!
Oh, yes. Yeah.
How about another adventure?
Oh, yes, certainly.
Wonderful. Hold on, let me get you out of here.
Lessla will go up to the stable master and say, "We'll be. How much is owed for this horse's stabling?"
But has been paid for by the
we are going to. This horse wants to go on an adventure with us. If you cannot tell by my friend's excitement in meeting the horse again.
I'm afraid I have my instructions as to wait for another party that is supposed to come and pick him up in several weeks' time.
Lessla nods and says, we are only going a couple of days out of town, and we will most likely be back before the end of this 10-day. At which point Lessla will, how wealthy does this stable hand look? Or stable master?
Well, the stable hands are all trained the horses. You're speaking to the stable master.
Yeah.
As far as you can tell, he looks decently wealthy for Waterdeep. Maybe he's on the lower end of Waterdeepian stable masters, but he's still in Waterdeep and he's still a stable master. He's got some wealth.
Do not worry. He will be well taken care of. My companion is a druid, and I doubt that anyone is going to be missing a horse they're not looking for. And Lessla will pull 10 gold and says, "It will only be 6-7 days at most."
Well, he seems very hesitant.
If you want, I can give you some collateral so you know that we will be back.
Roll me, this will be a persuasion.
Yep. Alright.
I think she's currently in the process of selling the horse, but the horse is telling her how to do it because she doesn't know.
No, that's why the
That's why she's
colonel is
listening to
advising
him.
her.
That is a 14.
Well, we're not even saddling him because we're gonna hook it up to a cart.
Yeah.
So then never mind.
Yeah.
She's just very excited.
If you are that insistent, I suppose something can be arranged, but collateral will not be enough.
And what will?
I would require you to be able to pay the full price of what a horse of this caliber would be worth. in addition to collateral, should you not return, so that I will have a way to exploit myself and hopefully pay off any debts that I might incur. Then I would consider.
Lessla rubs her temple a little bit as she then says this. Because Colonel Chestnut's a full-on warhorse, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, I would like you to understand that this horse, well, our friend, the horse, Colonel Chestnut, as he calls himself, it would not be possible for someone to come up with that much money on just short notice, and we are in quite a hurry.
Be that as it may, that's the only way I can allow him to leave when he has been entrusted to me by the city guard. Contingent on handing him over to a delegation from the court, I cannot take a risk. No, simply, a horse of this caliber is worth at least 500 gold. I will require that to be paid up front, as well as a 200 gold retainer escort.
Yeah.
You could try and schmooze him with advantage.
Yeah,
You
but
will
I
also
don't- I
know
don't
that
even-
it will also be obvious to everyone that you are casting.
Also,
Yeah.
it's the Waterdeep is the natural Waterdeep.
Yes.
And it's punishable by a heavy fine.
Mhm.
So we would probably be.
Yeah.
Lady Silverster, we can find another horse if we can. Lessla nods and says this. If I could trust that you would take credit, I would invoke my family's name, but I don't believe that will satiate you. So, do you have any normal riding horses?
I have several that are available. Yes.
At which point, Lessla will look to Colonel Chestnut and says, I apologize for getting your hopes up if you're ready for adventure, friend. At which point, Lessla will say that, and how much are cart rentals?
Rentals have a going rate of 25 gold per day, to be paid in advance.
What?
That's more expensive than a cart.
Be that as it may, they are in high demand right now. He gestures over to like two more people running off of him.
Okay.
Yeah, we should have left him first.
Yeah.
No, not give him the heads up, probably. Man.
Oh,
Man.
definitely.
He had to. I think he's a good guy.
Like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
To this point, the GM can give you insight.
Yep.
Stuff like this is usually rented far in advance.
Yeah.
Renting it quickly.
Inconvenient tax.
Essentially, not only is it an inconvenience tax, you are probably paying to cancel someone else's reservation.
Yeah. Alright, well. Don't get started on that.
Riding boy.
Alright.
Now,
Well,
they said if you wish to purchase one of the things we have for sale, they do go at the standard price.
would Sapphire would Sapphire have agreed to put pitch in beforehand?
I could only do like maybe 5 gold. I think. I have 0 monies.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe a flat.
if you could put 5 gold in a platinum, that'd be perfect.
Just so we can get the card.
Yeah. So yeah, in that case, I'll because I have enough to buy the riding horse. So yeah, Lessla will buy a riding horse and a cart.
Okay.
Alright.
Is that this? It's also something I should make note. Note to you. These are not just like a very basic cart. These are wagons that he's selling.
Oh, wagons. Okay.
So they are 35. 15.
You fucker. Does he know where any carts are being sold?
God, at this point we can just run.
Yeah, just Corvus are already halfway there.
Sapphire is already halfway there.
Hold on. Just buy a horse. Sapphire can ride the horse. You can ride me. Chris can run. He'll be fine.
What about Vale?
Valen's Arfea is the thing. So
Is that set in character?
Yes.
The stable master looks rather horrified at that notion.
Lessla
It'd be best if you all take your business elsewhere.
Lessla did say she was a druid. Lessla did say she was a druid at the very beginning.
Uh-huh.
You need an example?
No, that simply will not be necessary. All of you have a wonderful rest of your day.
Alright, well, looks like I won't need your gold because they don't have a regular cart.
Alright.
So I'll buy the riding horse because I was gonna buy one anyway. Yeah, and we'll have
If you want to look for a cart, you can. There are other places.
Well, I know technically this has a cost, but
You could get everyone on it. It is more size to boy,
yeah.
and it would be cramped.
Yeah.
It is not designed for this, but you could do that. Because keep in mind, a cart is usually not designed for more than a few people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even the carts you're looking here will be cramped for everyone to get in. What you had before would have been a wagon.
yeah. Well, hold up. Technically speaking, we could move as fast as Corvus for 2 hours at a time. Because Lessla and Sapphire could ride on Cheese, then Zerfea and Vale can ride on the other horse, which I'm now going to have to name that horse.
It's probably
It's a head start, yeah. It's moving faster, and it'll allow people that already have the stuff to get there before us, so Corvus will be happy. So yeah. Logistics done. We have the horse. Cheese, wild shapes, and we go.
Yes.
I apologize, but...
Boys still, no, we're still 30.
Oh, fucking boy.
Oh well.
Oh well.
We get the cart but for boy only.
We ride some
Yeah.
They just go back into town, grab the
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, you can look around.
Yeah.
You can see if there are other ways to get a car. That is an option.
We already wasted so much time though.
We have wasted a lot of time, so I'm willing to do it this way and get going. We'll get...
Really only runs 30?
Boy only has a speed of 30, yeah. He's a... What is it?
Maybe we'll get lucky and find an abandoned car on the way. Right, Rupert? That totally happens, naturally.
Hey,
As long as it's something that can be repaired with mending, it'll only take us 10 extra minutes.
Cheese will say. Double the speed.
Double speed, go.
You do also have the option of getting a slightly less expensive horse and getting the wagon.
It would still be fast.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck it. I'll buy the
I'll
I'll buy the draft horse and the wagon, and I think I'll need the platinum from Sapphire. I'll upgrade. I'll upgrade later. Draft horse is fine. It's still faster.
Isn't Valley's a draft horse?
Alright, we'll get a draft horse and we'll get a wagon. And I'll take the one platinum from Sapphire and we'll be good. And we will actually be able to move a little faster than usual.
Cheese is still a horse just because she thinks it's fun.
I'll let Vale and Zarfea use the wagon. I'll ride on Cheese so that we don't waste her being a horse.
Cheese is bareback. Lessla knows how to ride a horse.
Yeah.
Cheese is gentle. Fuck it.
And
Don't overthink this.
and Lesla's a woman. It doesn't matter. And they're using a wagon. They're using a wagon, so Vale doesn't have to worry about it.
Alright,
We're good. We have a draft horse and a wagon now.
Now we have to go through customs.
Actually,
You would have had to do that to get out to the staples anyway.
Actually, the customs of one thing was usually fine.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not big cargo. The thing, if you have like a little like, oh, it's just like some suitcase, a wagon, if it's covered and have a long car. You have to pay tax. A lot of money for tax.
Yeah, we go for 2 hours.
Let's find out vacation. I'm glad we
So navigation? Okay, yeah. That would be a... say that would be a survival check for you.
And I would be helpful.
You'll have you'll have
because I-
advantage regardless, yeah.
because the detailed map.
Yes, it is. Well, it's not the most detailed map.
Detailed enough.
Yeah.
Herger,
Cut
gur.
that again.
Herger.
The left.
Sapphire will help as well. Oh, Jesus.
Nat 20! The advantage rattled.
What I do, baby.
So, Corvus,
Oh, nat 1 and a nat 2.
not only do you, not only do you manage to navigate the way there, you won't have to make any checks, just the one.
Oh, do I navigate this way?
You're able to find a shortcut.
Yeah, look. Here. Do that.
Alright.
I'm going to assume that you all are traveling at these standing speeds, correct?
Yeah. So once
Once
we have the wagon, we'll be moving at speed 40.
Like, hey,
Yes. All things we need to mimic a little bit of his power.
fine. Wait. I don't draft.
Draft horses are strength 18, and
They riding horse is light dog.
yeah. Well, I can't remember what the wagon
Times 5, but it
times 5, yeah.
weight of the wagon.
Yeah. Which it would have been 150 times 5 minus 400. It would have 200 pounds left. So a riding horse, a riding horse would not be able to do it. A draft horse can. So yeah, we would have. Yeah. I hate how heavy drakes are for their size.
Very dense.
They're very dense. They're very dense. But with a draft horse, it's 540 times 5. So 2,500 pounds minus 400. So yeah, we can carry us all. Yeah. And for 2 hours, Lessla and Cheese aren't on it either. I think Zarfea would actually have vehicles.
Zarfea does not.
Does not? Oh,
She was a
unfortunately.
guard, not an actual. Yeah.
Does
Does
any
any
of us have vehicles actually?
For if we actually do need to make a check?
Just means you get permission.
Yeah, just means you get proficiency bonus on the saving throws, but yeah. Otherwise, it's yeah.
I'll also use that as well as the AC.
Oh, that's fine.
That's your proficiency attribute.
That actually makes vehicles a lot harder to hit, Xanathars. Thank you. That makes them unreasonably hard to hit. That makes them unreasonably hard to hit.
Wood wagon has AC have the AC of like 13. Oh, wait.
Yeah. Alright. Good to go. What's your speed? 50?
Alright. Yeah, you are all able to largely make your way there. You will have to forage a little bit for food, as
I have the one back.
Okay.
I believe Cheese has something Yeah. You can find food and fresh water for yourself and up to 5 other people each day, provided that the land offers berries, small game, water, and so forth.
Yep. You'll be fine then.
Okay, so we can look for 10 people. God damn. We could have a bigger party.
10 medium sized.
Yeah.
We could help them too, but no.
Well, we don't know where they went. Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely gonna be friends.
Like,
This is where I.
Regardless, though,
Trust them, it'll be faster. You got the short cut.
eventually it will start winding down. You will be able to find enough place to rest over rest of the night. I assume you're stopping over the night, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. We're not taking exhaustion.
Ah,
Go
yes.
ahead and move there whenever
Matt, if there's anyone else on the road that, like, notices us just going the wrong direction, had they read the map wrong? How did they get there before us?
Pulls map down where it shows up going down a cliff and some.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
have
Literally search for
Just have it.
ha-
search
ha-
the gifts for crop map, and that was literally the first thing that popped up.
has anyone met Bobby yet? Yeah.
No one. You keep saying that, Rick. No one knows what you're talking about.
And
And no one's gonna know until they figure it out.
Okay then.
Nothing. Darkness. It is a
I see. Do the tokens not have vision?
it all seems dark.
They should all have vision.
I see.
I see the void. Oh, there we go.
They do not have vision like they're supposed to.
Yeah. Yeah, I did know that Zarfe is away from the group.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Updated anyways.
It's sunset variant.
Great. I believe this was gonna be Sapphire's tent.
It's up to you guys.
Well,
I know which tent is
There's
Lesla's.
a hammock here by the well bar.
Oh,
Oh, you moved the hammock away from where we
put it
put it
originally.
originally?
Corvus doesn't sleep. Corvus doesn't sleep in any bed like
Well, you can sit in a hammock and sleep.
Not
Not well, but you can.
It's a Corvus puts a long in there. You can make in the hammock. They attack. I think Corvus is just Caro Fishman.
I also like how this tent is super fucking
I can't
extravagant,
sing,
and
so-
everybody knows it's Lesla.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely mine. It's green and it's white.
You still can't. I should have. Did that not?
Did you forget to press the save button?
Oh, hang on.
Oh wait, is his token not registering as his again?
His token is registering as Cheese's token.
Yeah, what?
I'm
Look,
fixing
that
that.
hasn't happened yet, okay?
There we go, it's not mine anymore.
I can fix that.
Alright. So we're now all standing here in front of this fire.
I'm fixing that.
We can make
Yes, you probably should.
boy.
That's the one thing I forgot. Like, I knew I was forgetting something the entire time I was saying this stuff, but anyway.
At this point, he is
Mhm. Do they go back to camp like Spy? I can't remember the dog's name of Baldur's Gate now.
Scratch.
Scratch! I knew it was an S. I couldn't remember. Yeah, Scratch, because he goes back to camp when he goes unconscious when he's zoning. So, we are now standing on a fire. What is our food for today?
He's supposed to find berries and nuts.
Yes, that's what I said. That's the best one.
If anything, I've still got some servings of jerky.
We'll see. You know
A few
what?
pounds
She's
of nuts,
with
berries, and raisins.
Well, now this is.
used being a cook to her advantage because she would be able to collect eggs from nests.
Lessla, while she's waiting for the two survivalists to get back, is eating one of the candy coins.
You cut out real hard.
Motherfuck!
See?
Sapphire was basically asking, where'd you get the candy from, and also say that it was bigger.
It was our payment for our last job.
John, I'm mostly surprised that Lessla is the one that seems to be the one telling me this. And Cheese I can understand. Lessla! What universe am I in?
What part? What?
The fact that Lesla's saying that it was payment, the candy was payment, with Sapphire having no context, thinks that this was set up front. It's like, hey, you're going to get paid candy for this job. I'm like, why did you accept it? Sapphire is just really.
Lessla will reach into the bag of holding and toss a rock candy at Sapphire. It looks like a coin. And that's your one coin from the job.
Liar's night. And Sapphire will, be saving it for Liar's night in case someone tries to pick it.
Carlos, call us in your port if there's anything you wish to do at camp.
I'm going to be working on one of my projects because, I brought my kids.
Will just be maintaining fire. Making sure he's taking us in the right direction.
Lessla will look to Vale, who probably was just staring at us with a funny face as I threw a candy coin to Sapphire and said that was our payment for the last job. And she's actually going to look at specifically the gear he has on.
It is so the gear he has on is a set of medium armor. It's like scale mail essentially.
Yeah.
It does look very nice. It's probably a very well made scale mail. It does have the embroidery of the Church of Illustrate on it. It has her holy symbol inscribed onto it.
So,
He also has a scimitar at his side.
I don't want to sound racist, but that's kind of expected for a drow.
I'm sorry, not a scimitar, a short sword.
But Lessla will look to Vale and say, "Where do you prefer to stand if things come to blows?" You'll place in combat. Are you a vanguard, a mid-guard, or a rear-guard?
It's bad now, really bad, Sapphire.
Real bad. I'm just waiting to see Sapphire's typing. But while Sapphire in universe deals with dial-up internet, Lessla will explain. Your position in combat, are you a vanguard, a mid-guard, or a rear-guard?
I'm generally best in the midst of everyone. Most of my abilities are more designed towards keeping others in the field.
I see. And
she's
trying
to. Lessla looks like she's trying to be cordial, but there's also the just the part of her that is hyper mission focused. So she doesn't want to just say, "Oh, okay, good to know," and be done with it. But
that's kind of all
she wanted to talk to him about, and she says, "So did anything interesting happen on your days between being rescued and this adventure?"
Not particularly, no. I've mostly relegated myself to the temple.
Lessla nods and says, "I have no concept of the inner workings of temples and have no idea how to comment on it."
The life inside the temple of Lessla was well, all things considered, very dull, for what I'm allowed to partake in. I'm not a true priest of course.
I am not one particularly pious, as you might imagine, so the different gods and their practices are. I have very little interest in them, mostly because the god I do follow doesn't actually exist as far as we know at the moment, although their powers still exist, from what I'm aware.
He nods. I'm perhaps in a very similar boat to you, so to speak.
And this actually does pique Lesla's interest, and she says, "And how is that?"
For all that can be considered about the good of the stray does. Even gods are limited by their decisions. The stray is unable to grant me any sort of power.
Then where does your power come from?
I have to draw from another goddess who is willing to aid me. I learned from an old friend of my mother's. She is chosen of two goddesses.
Lessla probably knows exactly who he's talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, there's only one person who can think of.
And they were able to grant you an approximation of the divine powers of Illustrate.
Well, not in so many steps, really. She was able to teach me how to pay equal respect to both Illustrate and Illustrate, so that I could have some semblance of divine power granted to me, and be of some use to the church. not skilled in the arcane like your mother is.
Less on gods, ancient. Yes, one of the laws of magic is that even one who wishes to learn must still have some talent for it. Although it seems that your talent is for the divine magics, not necessarily the arcane.
He nods.
To be honest, I do not. I do not comprehend why people worship God the way they do. In the back of my head, I think that it's simply a way that to serve their own self-interest, but there are some who are fully devoted to serving those who they claim will aid them in their times of need. And they perplex me.
I suppose I can understand why that would be perplexing. The rules of the gods are difficult for the move to understand at times.
Well, provided that the wills of your goddesses wills you to survive, I'm sure that we'll get through our adventure quite well.
I certainly hope so.
Did you have any questions for myself? I know that we've not talked since we returned to Waterdeep, but I assume that at the very least you shared some time with the others.
To some degree, yes. Though I don't believe we shared much, well, we didn't talk much.
Well, if there's anything you two need to know and I have the knowledge to give, I will assist you.
It's very much appreciated. Thank you.
And,
is there anything I can answer for you?
Lessla
looks almost insulted that a cleric could ask a wizard if they could answer any questions for the wizard. Lessla really does not like gods. And she then says, no, unless you can somehow give me the answer to why my life is the way it is, I don't believe there's anything that you can answer for the time being.
I see. And on that note, I'm going to pause for a bit so that Sapphire can have a chance to reconnect. Jeez. I think that adapter needs to be replaced ASAP. Oh, I heard something.
Well, if she wants to catch up, she can watch the video. I have to embody the character.
Yeah, did.
Look, the only difference between how Lessla acts and how I act is Lessla acts with tact.
And that is
Not much. Lessla does not act with as much tact as she thinks she does.
Vale will nod to Sapphire.
And Les.
And everyone has
And
after that, Lessla will open her spellbook and actually no, she's not using a spellbook for this. It looks like she's writing it on regular parchment, but she is. It looks like she's working on a magic formula.
I'm saying, fuck it, I'm using my phone until my Discord on my computer wants to work. Just checking for updates.
Fun times.
I'm trying 30 seconds. Wait, it's just
This is actually easier to understand than your Discord, but it's on your computer, which is
Yep.
sad. This isn't great.
yeah, I know, those are my chapters. I mean, it is over a year old, so, like, it was dying anyway.
Yeah. Why is boy leapfrogging around Zofia?
Oh, he's been trying to play with
She's kind of just periodically patting him on the head.
Yeah.
If anyone else wants to do anything.
He is Corvus explanation for anything bad. Absolute bad.
I like the idea that he is dragging Zofia by the foot.
He's not dumb enough to he knows
Ah.
he's strong.
Sophia will, dragged by boy, come over and have some food with everyone. Well, she remains fairly quiet, but we will
He's sitting in between Corvus and Lessla.
I'm where I am. I will pet boy.
Lessla will look at the boy speaking in Draconic and say, "Is there anything I can do for you?"
To Sophia?
No, to the boy because he came up to me.
Back.
Lessla will nod. Is like, all right, you can chase the stick if you want. And this is how you play Neverending Fetch. You use Invisible Mage Hand, and you just have it circle around you.
Oh no, he loves it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. While doing it, Lesla's doing the mage hand with one hand, and then she's writing in the arcane formula with her other one. And she's using her left hand to write, and her right hand to do the mage hand. Because even though it's invisible mage hand, she still has to do the somatic components to control it. So it just looks like she's using the force. Well, standard ruins will have undead, more than likely, skeletons, maybe some zombies, unlikely. It could also house any manner of creatures, judging by the fact that they were newly discovered. More than likely it's not kobolds or goblins. Well,
Eyebrow when it says discovered.
if it wasn't newly discovered, I feel like anything in it would be gone, unless he put things in there for some reason.
We never know to do that yet.
Mr. Bird is very and that is exactly what I This is not all new It's likely he set everything in there, he set up and some on it. It's fine. It's a story about him.
In which case, we should worry about traps. In addition to that,
Don't believe anything should be too dead. But that doesn't mean it can't.
this entire time.
Sabotage the other.
Yes. At which point, Lessla stops writing on the parchment, looks at it, shakes her head, and throws it in the fire.
Corvus, is it parchment or paper?
Parchment.
It's good. Like, that's fucking. You know what that's worth?
Yeah, it's parchment, yeah.
Just looks at it. Back.
The following wouldn't work. Thank you for getting this meal. As she looks at the food in front of her, and she eats the grilled rat with no real hesitation.
Discovered that stealing eggs from nests is quite cathartic. I'm sorry, I spoke over. No comment.
I feel like that may lead to the extinction of a species one day.
Well, it wouldn't be any different from you going up and grabbing one of those eggs. Simply the circle of life.
For us to get differently, we know and we dark gold, wild, more caretakers than harvest, breakfast, and whatever we can.
No more than necessary.
Was the old hour building back discussion thing
I do doubt that a god of nature will smite us down with all their holy powers for stealing one too many eggs from a nest. But
oh, that's not from this fall, but everyone ruins or everything just
I'm sure that with the proper apologies, it can all be smoothed over properly, especially since we have Miss Cheese and her connection to the nature.
They made I've heard stories of people doing some dogwood exchange before they go to the swamp.
Yes, that does happen.
occasionally. Very occasionally. I would say it happens more than would quantify for rarely.
Luckily, I do not think we're in near one of those spots. I've heard some bars larger than that, but I think 5.
Lessla just kind of rubs her temples, as she usually does when something perplexes her, as she says is, I don't fully understand as long as you control it, fire is still a natural occurrence.
Yes. No, I understand. We, why, yes, no, sometimes strong or powerful. Understand, in charge of the spread. You best adapt the lifestyle around it. You can, just as he says, he snapped into being
Well, if they really want to protect their forest, they would learn proper abjuration magic.
Anyway,
Okay, I was talking to someone else.
Stalking
good.
them. Stalking them.
yes.
You can follow. Probably the old stuff around the block.
Well, that's possible, yes. It's actually very likely, honestly.
I mean, you've been around a lot of rising side of adventure. Explore the thought.
Not as much as you.
Just curious how much of a raid was paying so much of a competition. Yeah,
I wouldn't know. I've never participated in something like this before.
At the very least, I believe we should be prepared to defend ourselves from the antics of others. And if I know Nemo, he is quite ingenuitive.
As long as you just don't wish harm upon any of you. No problem with that.
Harm, no, but a mud pit here or there, possibly.
What are the chances that group knows what we get
From the little conversation I had from the person who keeps them
organized, I feel that he is a fairly
level-headed person, and if he sees it as something that will benefit him more than detriment, he'd be more than willing to do it.
Although, if it is ruins, it might get quite crowded if there are 10 people running around. Technically 11, and I look a boy.
What do you think of this? Get off the line.
We have to fight, we have to fight. Protect the dogs. I will not be able to look for my rider.
Look at my spells.
As the sun sets, I hear any
Perception check.
Yeah, the night light coming.
Perception check.
You think you hear it?
Yeah, you hear the various animals yeah, you hear the various animals, you know, the nocturnal animals coming out. You do also think you hear something a bit larger moving around in there, but large animals sniffing around a fireplace when you got food cooking, not all too unusual.
We'll take some of the maize and walk off the silo, at least leave these maize out.
Maybe we'll do that just fine.
They have nothing to do.
What do you need?
There's a large pool of interest in me. Not going to leave any scraps around. The big watch.
I take it everyone will be heading to bed.
Yeah, he's like, going
Yeah.
to go, she gets some sleep. I'll keep the flower.
I'm just taking the next step then.
Looks over to the drink. You can take the picture.
I will wake up early enough, not worry.
Honestly, where you are, you feel like you probably could just, you probably wouldn't need to take watches. You're in a pretty
Corvus is
decent
good.
calm area.
Corvus is good watching Violet.
Yeah.
I watch. When it gets colder, need that fire on
Lessla will
get up, close her spell book, which she's been staring at for a little bit, and then says, I will take my leave, and, well, I will be up early enough so that you can at least have some sleep. And she goes into her tent. Extravagant tent.
Sapphire's gonna stay by the fire.
You have no idea how tempted I am to take Galder's Tower as one of my spells when I level up.
So
I don't even need a tent anymore, I just tower.
And it just stays there for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be that you could do without any spell. Any spell force to pick up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's going to be really funny? In the morning, there's going to be a crow and a pseudo dragon helping Lessla pull up her tent.
But will you be taking watches or no? Here?
What will be watching it in this flash?
Yeah. Lessla will get up and to do a watch so that Corvus can sleep later.
Boy's apparently doing a shift as well. Hey, no, you got the tent on Shadow.
Oh, I see.
Bluish one is like that.
Gotcha.
That's why it's blue.
So, Corvus, it's whatever. It's your choice.
Yeah.
Lessla will get up after 6 hours so that Corvus can rest. I imagine one of the people that can trance will get up before that.
She's, before she does go to bed, is gonna take a nap in the water.
Okay. Look down over here.
This is like the wall of gals, so she's gonna do it right here.
Yeah.
Alright.
You know, that's a great idea. Character probably uses that too.
So both of you will be.
Lessla bathes in the morning.
You
You get prestige shaded or not, it doesn't matter.
Any conversation happen during communal bathing, or no? I ask because I know the two of you.
Not that I can really think of, because we're gonna do the returning of the earrings in text.
Yeah, but if they're bathing together, then Sapphire would probably see the marks on his back.
I mean, Sapphire would probably offer it when she's running and watching the map for you, because she knows that's practically impossible to watch by yourself.
Also, she has a lot of hair.
Yes.
She has a lot of hair.
It's nice to have a little help.
This
This is what Mage Hand is for.
She will offer to help wash her hair and her back. She's crap a lot.
She's accepts, but it's kind of hesitant at first.
If you don't want me to, then don't mind that. I just figured it would be
No.
easier.
It's fine. Go.
As she's approaching, are you sure?
It's alright.
Alright. She'll start with the hair. I don't like the roll of Betty rolling a D20 Shadow.
Uh-huh.
River Monster.
Right now.
River Monster.
It's a
It's a Dianoga.
Yeah, Sapphire will start with the hair, combing your fingers through it to get out any center, and then she'll work on the back.
You're very
And then obviously, well, I know how annoying that the hair can be. The hair might be short, but it was not so short. Like, when you remember.
Yes.
That's always for the most. So gentle scalp massage, etc., etc. Just, you know, get it off there.
Cheese, you're hearing noises over here.
Where?
I think you're on the GM layer pinging.
Oh, yes, I am. You're correct.
Yeah.
I figured as much. I'm like,
yep,
I figured that's where you were
Right here.
pinging, yeah.
Well, I hear it too.
You would not.
Well, he doesn't show you what modifiers are in that roll.
That's fair. That's what? Okay. Do you know what it is? And Sapphire's gonna like, kind of look around.
Yeah. She steps out of the water.
She's not even trying.
Oh no, shit.
Whatever it is moving this. Whatever it is moving this way.
You're on the
Is
wrong
moving
layer.
closer.
No, sorry, I keep forgetting because it's moving this way.
It's moving with us, but it could be moving closer.
I think someone accidentally got
From
just.
listening to it, do I recognize anything from it? Can I make a perception check to try to figure out?
You can make a nature check actually.
Okay, well, fuck, I suck at those.
It's a giant space
You
hamster.
will have
Minutes with that.
Okay, I'll have advantage.
Miniature giant space
Thank
hamster.
God. I'm still able to roll with advantage, right?
yes.
I can only see the first
Roll again. And
Whatever it is quite large, probably human.
We've got a fucking
Humanoid and loud. Large.
large.
Give it. I recognize.
Whatever it is seems to have stopped right about here, which is where the dense foliage ends, and it kind of becomes like brush.
Sapphire's gonna ask Flowers if he can see what the hell has been like kind of spying on them.
yeah.
With like the vague direction he's being from there.
I'm going to go for the room and see if I can see something.
She's gonna kind of like be low in the water and try and stealth her way towards where she can get a better view.
I would
Okay.
just ask about a trace that she is harder with your coming.
Okay.
So she gets a +10 to that.
Nice.
Hmm.
And I myself too. Sapphire is just kind of sinking under the water enough that her like chest down is covered.
Cheese, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Outside!
With advantage.
Fuck! Oh, wait. Rolled
With
off.
advantage.
Kitty, fuck me.
What advantage?
It's much better.
There is someone right here. They're not... You can tell they're not looking at you, they are just hiding.
They
probably accidentally stumbled upon you and tried to sneak away.
Is it male or female?
You can't tell.
She's going up full force, like to where they are. Part the bushes. What are you doing?
This
This
was
poor
whoever-
person.
So, Cheese, to clarify, whoever they are, it's right here.
Yeah,
We should see.
yeah.
Right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Parting the bushes. What are you doing?
She's in all her naked glory.
Yes.
Just all the glory in the lake. Glory is.
Alright, let's see who it is.
You see a rather startled woman. I'm so sorry. I didn't know there was anyone here. Yeah, otherwise I just was very awkward. I'm fine. I just wasn't expecting to see anything yet. I've managed to get myself lost from my hunting party.
Insight check.
Go ahead and roll.
25.
She's not telling you the whole truth. She's definitely not being honest. I just have to do everything I need to.
Don't lie to me.
And Cheese will like kind of prepare a savagery. Her eyes kind of glow a little bit.
Like you do that, and a very you do that, and she like looks at you, and you hear a very different voice. Hells. Look at as you do the primal savagery.
We heard a different voice.
We use this now.
This guy's self to look like a woman.
So you do that, and cheese. They are you're gonna try and make a run for it.
Oh, grabbing that motherfucker.
Alright, that is gonna be
I
will say this is acrobatics v athletics, but you've got advantage.
Am I acrobatics or athletics? I'm athletics, right?
Athletics, yes.
Yes. Advantage. Fuck me! That's a 10.
They rolled a nat one.
Get off of here!
You tackle this individual.
I imagine more of it, it's like she just grabs them by the collar before they make it.
Yeah.
I imagine it's grabbed by the collar, followed by a trip and fall.
So, like, what position do you want them in that one? You can get them in just about everything.
She just grabs them by the collar and kind of clotheslines them back, and is now holding them face to face with her.
That is not a position I would want to be in.
So,
And Jesus just terrifyingly staring down this poor person.
you actually see the face morph and shift as this, like, snapping jaw, and inhuman eyes suddenly jump out at you. You make a wisdom save.
Do I also have to make a wisdom save, or what do I see?
How's an 18 then?
It sounds like you're startled, but you don't flinch. As this individual tries to struggle out of it, clearly expecting that to have thrown you off balance.
We see stupider shit.
And you seeing now standing there, this individual instead.
I can't tell if that's a man or a
Who
woman.
are you?
Either an elf or a changeling. of sorts.
I think it's a changeling, based off.
Look, I just came to get some food. How was I supposed to know you were gonna strip and bathe in front of me?
You know, you could have left the area.
Yeah, get caught? Think I didn't try? Besides, how else am I gonna get anything to eat? Huh?
Aren't you a part of a hunting party?
Yeah. What party do you think is gonna have this? As you kind of get a full look at this individual, they're very scrawny. And really just barely over 5 feet tall.
So you're just a wholesale liar.
Who wouldn't lie in that situation? Huh?
Telling the truth would have made me less angry.
Yeah, the two of you were gonna get full heads of yourselves, think I was peeping. I've seen better than you, honey.
I don't know who she's talking about.
Up into wherever they go.
Yep, into the water they go.
It's alright, shocking
First of
crash,
all-
there we go.
Primal savagery?
Second of all, I am in a position to kill you. Third of all, I don't care about being separated. I was raised in the woods with absolutely nothing. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is your life.
Again, I'm gonna just ask. Who wouldn't lie?
I wouldn't.
Do you see
Sorry,
what I
I
am?
was
It's
looking
kind
for
of my
food.
thing.
I don't know what you are.
Neither do I.
I
Join the fucking club.
I feel like this is getting loud enough that other people can hear.
Yeah.
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 Sapphire uses guys stop to give herself some cool.
Yeah.
But
Lesla's gonna walk from across your shoulder and says,
Is
everything alright over there?
She's just gonna hold out this motherfucker.
Cheese is actually able to hold this individual off the ground.
Yeah.
Like they're right at, if not slightly below.
As
Sitting right around 5 feet.
as I hear Boy and Corvus walking up behind me, because I imagine they're quite loud. Lessla will look back as you're approaching and say, if you do care, Cheese is currently naked. And then she turns back.
Wait, what was like that might be dangerous?
Yeah. Does Vale, as soon as he hears that, decide not to come over?
He stops behind the tent, yes.
Yes. Well, bring whoever it is over here, and we can have a proper conversation, not shout across a river.
You want me to carry you, or can you walk on your own?
Gee, can I?
I don't know, it sounds like you're being testy.
No, of course not.
Jesus carries the motherfucker.
Do you carry him through the water so the clothes get drenched?
Or across the bridge.
I'll go across the bridge.
Okay.
Okay. Just gonna go ahead and move them to the camp.
Yeah. Lessla, while they're going around, will go to grab Cheese's clothes so that Vale can join the conversation.
Sapphire's just gonna know where she put her clothes into her tent to very quickly close it. Put some clothes on very quickly and then come back out.
She's looks
She's
totally
gonna
fine.
conversation.
She looks annoyed, but she's not made uncomfortable by the fact that she's not wearing something.
Yes. Alright, so
Anything for body movement is like for free.
looking at this
person, can I make an Arcana or a Nature check
to determine what they are?
This would be Arcana.
Okay.
Not an easy check.
Yeah, I understand.
Sapphire might be able to make this too.
That's a 21 on my part.
I
And
do
22
not
on hers.
have advantage. I don't know why that was activated, but
Well, the first one was good. Sapphire, you've heard rumors of things like this, of shapeshifters. It could be many different things, honestly. It could be anything from... You've heard about 5 different variations of what a changeling could be. Could be that. And that covers everything from the literal spawn of a hag to some strange forgotten race. And even just the boogeyman is also in there. But there are many other shape-shifting beings and things. What this one could be, you don't know. Lessla, with you being a little bit more studied in this type of thing, you know that there is a type of being called a changeling. They are theorized that they might be a race. But no one's really able to confirm that. Where they come from, what they are, who knows?
Lesla's going to look at Cheese and says, Did this person morph in front of you?
Yes.
What is a changeling doing in the forest on their own? Well, I can only assume peeping on people.
Again, not peeping. Don't get full of yourself.
Don't be impressed.
Well,
Was that to the changeling or to
Yes.
Lessla?
The looking for food was to Lessla. The don't be crass was probably to the changeling. Lessla just is kind of unperturbed by the way it's reacting and says this. Alright. You were looking for food, you happened to, I assume, smell the food that was being cooked earlier. And you're going to attempt to steal it, I assume?
You left, as most people do.
Would have asked. It's really not that long.
Yeah, it turns out most people, when they see this, it points to their face, tend to run, if not just try and kill.
What's so bad about it? It's maybe a little bit ugly, but it's normal.
Gee,
Yeah.
thanks.
Which
You're
point?
not exactly a picture of beauty yourself.
You think I didn't realize?
Which point, Lessla claps her hands really loudly and says, "Focus." At this point, I would assume it has something to do with the fact that there is no pigment naturally in you whatsoever.
Yeah, among other things.
Yeah.
I'm getting this asshole.
Yeah. Now. And you can morph. I assume it doesn't hurt you to do so.
Easy as breathing, if I feel like it.
Then it occurs to me that you are just being stubborn.
And how do you figure that?
Because you could have morphed into a normal looking person and came by and asked.
A normal looking person comes up to you in the middle of the woods, and you treat them well, give them free food. That's what I'm hearing?
You tell the truth.
Yeah, I find my options are better if I come in, take it, and no one ever knows I was here.
And that leads into the current situation we're in when there is someone who...
Yeah, usually I don't get caught.
Well...
I have the eyes of the gods.
And how am I supposed to know that, huh?
Because eventually, everyone always fails.
Well, this is the first time for me.
Yes, and you're lucky that it was this group. If it had been people that were
I'm
more...
not so sure about that.
Well, would you rather have an arrow in your back?
Wouldn't be the first time.
Yes, but now...
Fix that.
Right now you're... Go ahead.
You... something you would all realize. This individual is not at all afraid of you.
Lessla figured that out from the very beginning. At which point, Lessla will then say... well, go ahead and speak, Corvus.
You have no idea what they are.
Yeah.
Well, Lessla has called them a changeling.
They haven't done anything. Particularly said it was 10. Well, being caught. I know. Little sour for
Lessla, well, nods says, that's fair. But I imagine that Miss Cheese is doing this as a form of punishment for him lying.
They said they will keep his meat peace. That part. That. Nothing that's not back about that.
Well, I think the only one of the two that actually cares if the person is peeping or not would be Sapphire, and I look to Sapphire.
idea to resolve this very quickly. I will grab their hand and put 2 rations into it. There you go. Change the weapon go now if you want.
That's before we let this person go. I would just like to note that they do share the same nature as us, and it is now getting uncanny how many we're meeting.
Sapphire, I want you to roll me an insight check. When you give them the food.
Okay.
You would expect a bit more enthusiasm for someone who is coming to steal food, having been given it.
Oh, fun. I'm not gonna break stuff though. Is that for a reason? Let me give them a quizzical look.
They quickly pocket the rations.
At which point Lesla's going to rub her temples for a moment and say, Given what you are, I imagine people would be quite fond of you, but also that your nature is similar to ours. I imagine that people that you've had quite a hard time, and that you, well, based off what you're saying, or how you speak, I imagine that you grew up in the city. No?
Stopped working.
Yes. Well, that is one of the reasons why Lessla talks the way she does, is to confuse people.
Like, takes a few seconds. You're in my head, aren't you?
No, I am not. I am not an experienced enough wizard to have telepathic abilities. I would say, based on my current experience, give me a year. I simply understand things about people, even if I do not like them. Not you specifically, people in general.
Sure, not me.
Oh, you have you never met anyone with your type of nature before?
You keep saying that. What does that mean?
People who meet you are innately afraid of you.
Yeah. Have you seen me?
It's not because of how you look. At which point, Lessla will pull from her bag of holding her smith's hammer and her and a piece of metal, because she uses the song as the rhythm for smithing. As she says, "Tell me if you've heard this before," and she's going to repeat the rhythm on the piece of metal with the hammer.
Where have you been?
The same place you have, in your dreams.
Elves.
Sorry, what?
Elves.
Hells.
I heard elves, and like that's definitely not what I'm saying.
Yeah. At which point, Lessla takes a deep breath and says, as he has Lessla looks at Cheese and says, "You may let him go."
And she looks to the changeling. May we have your name?
Why you want mine?
Because it's somewhat important, at least to me, to keep track of people of our natures. You, from what I can tell, and she looks to Zalthea for a second before looking back, people of our nature are rare, but they're becoming more common. And they are, may or may not be being targeted by certain cults. This conversation is much longer than I think we have time for tonight. So if you wish, you may spend the night in the camp. And in the morning we can speak more about it. If you choose to leave, that is your choice.
Has Cheese released him?
No, she has not.
Okay. He looks at you, looks at Cheese, looks down at the vice grip still on the wrist.
Mm-hmm. I do not actually have the ability to control her.
Because I want it. Give it to me.
At which point, Lessla kind of looks to
Cheese, roll me intimidation.
looks to Cheese because Lessla knows what that means to Cheese.
That is a 21.
Looks at you for a long time. Oh.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
Another
21.
That is the most honest thing they've said.
Cheese drops.
As I said,
You do that, stumble in. Give a guy some. Just say it.
No.
Lessla.
Love this shit. Oh my god.
I don't
Lessla.
know how old they are.
I don't know. I just love them.
Yeah, and it's probably quite hard to tell. Because
She wants another person to put her hair on.
yes, Lessla rubs her temples and says, "All right. As I said previously, it is getting quite late. You may join us in the camp for the night. It may be better than sleeping out in the cold. And in the morning, we can discuss more of what I've talked about thus far."
Roll a persuasion check.
Alright. Any, do I have advantage on this?
No.
Alright. Oh, that's a fun one. 21, three times in a row.
Yeah. In the morning, you're gonna explain all of whatever this is.
As much as we've figured out thus far, because we are also trying to figure it out, and we only really, well, the earliest any of us have met each other was myself and Miss Cheese, roughly 3-4 months ago.
Before I met her, I was not fully aware that there were others such like us.
Quiet for a good long while, kind of looking between all of you.
Corvus's work is a sort of naturally stranger who's watching and like every inch like looking at his hands and stuff, but sort of like it's weird. Corvus has both the look of prey and predator. Looking for danger, but also being ready if need be happens.
Go ahead and roll me an insight check then for us.
Yep.
It's I don't know how to pick the streak and it had
We got 2 nat 20s earlier.
So,
Yeah.
you're not especially good at reading faces, but you're at body language points.
yeah, I
Especially when someone's
primal and stuff.
yeah,
Very good.
really not as good at hiding that as they are obfuscating their words. Which is odd for someone that you would assume has been in the woods for a while, based on what you've heard. But you definitely know the look of someone who's been cornered.
I could walk away from all this, but I could also learn who I am.
You're not sure if that's the reason.
I know, I'm just...
What was that?
He's basically asking, are you going to run?
Roll in...
It's not intimidate, it's just, it's
No, you're right. But there's something...
He always feels cornered and I picked up on it.
Yeah, no. I need to...
There's no threat, of course.
Alright.
Yeah.
So he turns to look at you, Corvus. And then flips you the bird. You can go to the house. What do you think? I don't really care. Yeah, I'll stick around.
Then we will continue this conversation in the morning. I am quite tired.
What was that?
He's from a place of people who talk exactly like Corvus, and they've all asked him that question.
No.
I just brought out childhood trauma.
No. That's...
What?
Well, I'm not gonna elaborate more. I'm not gonna elaborate more.
Once again, I wish you all
good night.
Well, Lessla also doesn't have her glasses on this entire time. Yeah. Which I think that... Well, she doesn't have... They're not goggles in that yet. But she doesn't actually need her glasses. The glasses are purely aesthetic. And to sleep I go.
Did you want to continue the bath, or,
No, I think kind of been enough.
Alright. See you in the morning.
Rest well.
You too.
Vale.
No, I'm doing quite well. Just wasn't expecting this.
Is his face? Is his face a slightly deeper shade of lavender?
Possibly. It's hard to tell.
I'm glad Boy is here because my tent is right here.
Yeah.
From this guy.
Is this thing gonna keep?
Yes.
Looks a.
What?
He's very protective of us.
They're called Boy, and they like people with our unique names.
Yes.
I feel the exasperation in Cheese's voice of, oh, it likes him. God damn it.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
like he's being friendly. He's almost like still like because he picks who's to this guy. He's doing that dog friend.
It's he's giving puppy dragon eyes.
Essentially,
They seem very wary of the thing.
not he's this guy's friend, is that he's being an even person. Because don't forget, Boy has more intelligence.
He does have more intelligence. He is quite intelligent.
And like, if we one, basically he's guarding him. Two, he's doing the protect friend. Might not be friend. You don't know.
I can show you to a tent.
I think I'm fine with
You know, Shadow introduces characters simply to have someone that would use the hammock.
that. I honestly haven't expected to kill this kid.
That's what he did.
It really depends.
Well, I didn't have any weapons on me.
I may have. I said I may have also just not cared to kill him.
People probably just do it. That's the. What doesn't do it? He's, he's respectful of us.
Sapphire definitely had it, but I
Also, Corvus did literally not need left because he gave him the animals.
He did give him the animals. So he would have come in here and been like, "Where the fuck's the food? Those fat asses."
Corvus only hunts.
Probably exactly what he would have thought too.
Also,
Corvus only
Also, speaking of no leftovers, I can't wait until we go to the Silver Marches because you know that little animatic that Carrington made. There's going to be a continuation of that of us going into a dining hall for nobles, and Lessla looking at Sapphire and says, "So you're not a quitter, are you?"
The thing about it is, because of how Corvus is, he doesn't believe that he's everything you can, not leaving anything to plate. He's like, he gets the big ass plate, it's like, you don't need to finish this. He goes, yes I do. You understand? This bad man does not finish his plate.
Sapphire and Corvus were teaming up.
They're gonna.
That's not Rick, that's not yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which will be the local challenge.
Yeah, sure, why not?
He's like, after the fact,
Rouge is defending.
Keep swerving.
Alright. Anything else?
I think I'm good.
And then the cheese will like fucking kill you.
Stick your tongue out at him.
No. But she is just going to sit down.
stand at her full height, look down at him, look down at them.
Are you really planning on staying?
Guess we'll have to find out, won't you?
Not tricky. I can't say I don't like it. I hope you do stand. Yes, well.
Which is in direct view of where Vale is
Mhm.
staying.
Oh, I dropped this penny.
Sapphire will stay up for a little bit, kind of listening for noises of, for any movement over here.
So the one thing you hear, just at some point, just like a few seconds after she leaves, is presumably out of earshot. Vale disappeared? You're not sure who that's directed at.
The dog. Also, I feel like in that entire thing, Lessla was the only one that was acting normal.
I was actually
By normal for a person.
I
don't think once it's possible.
No. I look at people's feet, and depending on how their feet are shaped is whether I like them or not.
Noted, Lessla has a foot fetish.
No, I'm saying me as a person, because people,
Good,
anyway.
does.
I'm going, you know what? I'm going to go shoot all of you now.
You're the one who opened that door.
Yes, because if you look at people's feet, the direction they're pointed is what their intentions are. If they're pointed away from you, they want to get away from you.
Question how reliable that is. I've heard that before, but regardless.
Anyway.
Don't worry, we're back, we're good.
I heard it's happening live. I know, I know. I'm curious, but at the same time I think I know. Anyway. The rest of the night will pass without incident. Anyone who comes up to have a look will knows that this individual is in fact still right where they... still right there.
Are they afraid to move because boy is right there?
Unknown.
Oh, in the morning. That's a little ways out to make their way over.
Would you like any breakfast?
Depends on what you
Nuts, berries.
The bounty of the forest, I would say. Well, I hope you rested well. And she looks to boy and speaks in Draconic and says, and I hope you're doing quite well today.
really uncomfortable. You're strong.
Yeah, no. Every time. Actually, can Lessla carry boy? 12
15. 200 pounds. He's a little over 200 pounds.
You
12.
would not.
I can lift him.
You can lift him, but you can't move with him.
There's a difference between being able to deadlift something and being able to carry it.
Well, if you can push drag a lift, not carry.
Yeah, I can push drag her lift, which means that
She
she can lift him, which is a funny thing to think about.
Boars can lift technically.
Let's see.
Boars just want to lift. You literally, if dog lies with your leg, you like to sleep. Boy lies with your leg.
Yeah. Lessla will pat him on the head and say, Alright. You had your fun. Lessla reaches into it and pulls out a candy and gives him the coin.
That's not helping. Boy, I'm gonna like pull out a piece of jerky for boy.
He has candy, he doesn't need jerky.
Oh, he is right. He is his human special.
I will give him the jerky and begin giving him a good description and that.
Yeah, this is
So,
Not his back. Sally rubs like the best one. She's gonna be hunting for that spot that makes his leg hit.
Corvus, if you see that, what had you supposed to?
you need a stone to get that part. Yeah.
Oh, I would take it and just go.
You take the stone and start scratching right above his shoulder blade.
Don't think he does the leg kick, he does the little like lizard down. Okay, when you can together.
While that's happening, Leslie will walk over to the table and say, things that you should know. The most important thing, at least that should be important for you for your survival, is that, as far as we are aware, the cult of the dragon is interested in people of our natures.
What?
The cult of the dragon. The main sect of the cult of the dragon believes that Draco Liches are going to rule the world. Many of your subsects worship the various dragons.
I understood literally none of that.
I guess we should create a baseline. What is your level of education?
Just gives you a book.
Alright.
So there's a cult that likes
I know
dragons.
what a cult is.
That's hunting people like us. End of story, sort of.
Well,
That's baseline.
That I understood.
as for us, it would appear that our nature is something that, as for now, is unexplainable, as it does not appear to be genetic nor Do you know something? So if you have additional information that may be able to shed light on our condition, that would be appreciated to have at this moment.
What do y'all know of reincarnation?
the spell.
What would Sapphire know? You die, you come back to life, probably.
You've heard of it as a concept. It's genuinely not anything you hear of. You hear of it more in regards to like nature things.
With elves, technically speaking.
You've definitely heard of it with elves, yes.
I mean, I know cold-blooded elves can sort of do that, in a way.
The way that just seeing if he's reluctant, but it's the other thing of like someone who's trying to force himself to say something, even though he doesn't really want to. Being composed
I
Does Cheese know anything about reincarnation? I'm leaning on the side of probably not.
Probably you've
idea of death.
you've heard of something similar from Fae, but not by that word, and probably not in the same sense that Corvus is going to talk about.
Lesla's knowledge is this reincarnation spell, which is very different from what that concept is.
That's a druidic.
Yes, it's not arcane spell, but just magical knowledge in general is Lesla's. Yeah, I have knowledge of it. I don't know the details of it. I just know it exists. Mostly because it's a druidic spell, and she knows it exists. She doesn't care for it because she'll never know how to cast it.
At the moment, we'll sort of wait and see what the responses are. It's our soul. I believe when we die, we end up in something. And this has been happening. Well, they don't know how long.
They.
I have been able to talk to some previous
Less.
I would say.
Lesla
rubs her
temple as she thinks about it and says,
That
that goes against the common
knowledge
of
what happens
after death.
Just not. I've been trying to figure that out myself. Wow, we should age just a bit longer. No, yes, just to the small group.
Lesla
is thinking for a moment as she
rubs
her temple and she says,
What if
our natures are based off of our souls? Then.
Let's look down. I know that some of what I'm capable of is because of my previous accomplishments.
Lesla,
when you say that, Lessla looks
very
very unhappy.
Yeah, he like, it's almost like, you know, like an older, you look at someone giving bad news. Bad news.
I'm sorry, you have cancer.
Well,
Honestly, like, he seems almost, probably as annoyed, like, instead of less annoyed, he looks, it's not a different area.
well, I mean, just mentally, if what you can do currently is because of what because it's building upon from previous lives, it means that Lessla isn't as prodigious as she thinks she is. And that would make her very unhappy.
Yeah.
Lessla says is. But if our natures are based off of our souls, it's entirely possible that the reason why
The reason why people have an aversion to us is because the souls resonate in such a way. The reason why we are alright with each other is because our souls resonate on a similar frequency, and she's saying this as a... Okay. This isn't much information, but it is a new angle to approach from.
My ability to talk to previous incarnations, trying to get more answers. They know about as much as me. How stuff. I do this. He looks the less. Because he remembers less than second. We are always strong in our previous incarnation. Well, we have the potential.
Lessla sighs, she says. As I was saying, possibly the reason why the resonance of the souls is what causes others to fear us momentarily when they first meet us is because their soul can feel that ours are unnatural in the laws of the world.
That is my view, and I've been told mostly that. If I had to guess, whatever binds us to this place. Now, people can naturally sense something wrong, as well as some grit. And all living things have that special sense. It's just survival.
Leslie's gonna look to Hope.
Lessla, if you want,
Yep.
you can roll the Arcana or Religion. I think either one is applicable.
Arcana will be no advantage.
No.
Alright. Yeah, that's not great. That's 14.
Okay. So, you can't really think of any, like, soul being tied to a plane the way that Corvus is describing.
Mhm.
That doesn't really track. You are aware of souls being bound by contracts. You know, that's a thing that can be done, particularly in the lower planes, which is something you were instructed on when summoning magic was on the table. This is something to be wary of. Certain things will make bargains for them. And you know that some deities hold a vice grip over the souls of certain races.
Mhm.
The Drow and Lulth being a prime example. Similar with the clearly with the orcs and Rouge, and Coralon and the elves, and even Moradin and dwarves.
Most of the races that are considered evil races usually is because the deity said, "Fuck you, you're mine."
Yeah. The other thing that kind of resonates, that's because they really don't have a soul, so to speak, is primordials. They're raw manifestations of what exists. That kind of fits, but also not really. Again, there isn't so much a soul to speak of.
Either way, it's a new angle. And Lessla will look to Hope and say, So, did you catch any of that?
What I'm hearing is that if I die, I come back. I don't see how this is a downside.
You're trapped forever watching the eyes of someone else. Eternally. Though they figure out how to break the cycle, which will you'll probably be reduced to dust.
You think I don't already watch through the lens of somebody else?
It's maybe...
Yeah, like right in front of your eyes, turns into an elven woman, a dwarf, and then back to himself.
Lessla, not particularly perturbed by the shape changing, because there's magic that also does it.
It's like it counts for a fake creature. Was it not as shaken because it has some experience with fake creature?
Technically speaking, we have a lot of experience with the fake creature.
Yeah, so Corvus is all fade out.
Especially because she's wild shapes in front of us so much. It's which point Lessla kind of shrugs it, Hope, and says, technically speaking, watching someone turn into an animal is a little more disconcerting than you changing into another person.
Looks exactly like you, makes direct eye contact, shifts back.
Lessla says, if you're willing to take my place, you're more than welcome to try. I'll assure you, I don't think you'll live nearly as long as I live.
How do you respond to that?
Knowledge is not necessarily a burden. Sometimes it's a key. Well, I suppose there's nothing left to do in that case than dig. Common.
Training is about viewing my soul, my body. I'm able to touch upon it in a way that I believe most aids. I believe all of us are capable of talking to fire. Well, it took me a long time to get to
I thought you said I was going to get answers. Why do I only have more questions?
Because that is on me.
What did I just say?
Which point
Lessla will say is
that is been the mode of things in our experience.
More answers than anyone you guys have received thus far.
Yeah, and Lessla licks a
We
hope.
probably should waste time.
Yes, we can talk more on the cart.
That is so true. You care for a live campsite?
If you're willing.
Are we gonna get food by the end of the day?
You'll get dental though.
I mean, what you'll do with him in regards to this is another matter entirely, but I do think this is where I'll call this.
Alright.
Alright. My earbuds are at 7%.
Alright, with that, we will call it there for today. As always, have a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening wherever you are, and remember to stay frosty. For those of you watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and ring that notification bell to get more content like this in the future. And if you wish to support us or our artists, please view the links down in the description below.